right, welcome back, Ben, to the pod.
What up?
You were my first guest, but we didn't get that on video, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It was an
God,
occasion.
we didn't get a lot of stuff on video, my man.
Unfortunately, yeah. No behind the scenes either. Mm-hmm. But you're back. You're back. We tried to make this happen. We've been asking you to come on for like a week now, but you're a busy guy.
A week? Doesn't even seem like that long of a time. I've been asking you to come on for like a fucking week.
I
man.
know. I'm used to people.
It's been a week. Like I need you within the first 24 hours.
Listen, we're reaching Joe Rogan numbers here. So when I ask people to come on, it's just automatic. I'm not used to
you got
being
what, a baker's dozen?
Yeah. Honestly, your pod did pretty well. I don't know. You got a lot of friends from back home watching or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought, like, at the time, I thought those were shitty numbers, but I guess they're decent for like a number.
No. You're a big draw, man. Congratulations.
Oh, appreciate it.
Big time Ontario draw.
Yeah, Northern Ontario.
No, big Northern Ontario draw.
Sick.
We just did a gig up in Renfrew, Ontario. Shout out to the home of the NHL, apparently.
Well, I wouldn't give it home of the NHL, but they make hockey tape.
Yeah, the origin.
Isn't that what happened with that though? There is because I remember you on stage talking.
Yeah, so I was curious. I quickly Googled the town before going up, and it said something about the NHL like originating there. And I asked the crowd, and they said, yeah, apparently the NHL was born in that small town. They had like the first team ever. They had like two teams.
The Renfrew Millionaires, I believe.
Yeah, let me Google it real quick. But what
is
a wild...
laptop in my fucking face?
No, it's not. My hands won't be. Right. Don't worry, you're good. Especially if you stay to the right there, you're good. We got it set up, bro. This is a professional setup right here.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah. So Renfrew Millionaires. What a wild trip, though. I can't believe you grew up in so Renfrew is like 20,000 people. You grew up in a town.
That's 10,000. But I can tell you right now that Elliot and Renfrew felt the exact same.
Yeah.
Other than the bright lights of a Walmart sign. We don't have that.
Yeah. Walmart's like next level. If a small town has Walmart, it's kind of like a...
Honestly, you were there. I was driving through and I was like, oh, this is Elliot Lake. And then they have like certain things that Elliot Lake just doesn't have. Like a Walmart and like a Home Depot.
Yeah.
Like...
They also had a Rexall, which I'm pretty sure is like
that's a staple in
is
small
that a staple?
Towns. Yeah, every
I thought it was a Shoppers
and Rexall. Elliot, that's our flex, is that we have both, right?
Whoa,
so if you want to come in, you got options. A lot of small towns only have the one. You get to choose where you buy your
Monster energy drinks. That's sick.
Well, yeah, 2 for $4.
Yeah. Okay, so the Renfrew Hockey Club, also known as the Creamery Kings.
Oh, don't say that word around me unless you want me to come.
Dude, you can tell this guy was on Kill Tony, bro. Like, just snap. Millionaires was a founding franchise in 1909 of the National Hockey Association. So back when it wasn't even called the NHL, it was the NHA. That's how you know it's OG. It was called NHA for like 2 years.
National Hockey Association?
Yeah, instead of National Hockey League.
What year was this?
1909. Yeah, the precursor to the National Hockey League. The team was based in the founder Ambrose O'Brien's hometown of Renfrew, Ontario. Crazy. Wow.
And then, so what? But I thought it all originated with like the original 6?
Yeah, I guess so. This team, I don't think they lasted past... I'm pretty sure they were probably like dismantled before the NHL became a thing, right? So NHA, and then they're gone. I don't know. I don't want to do like a research project here, but it's a small town with a hockey. It's apparently the biggest like hockey tape producer in the world or something.
Yeah, Renfrew tape. I think everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Good quality tape too.
Good solid.
You know when
quality.
the boys pull out a Renfrew tape in the change, because there's 2 different types of hockey tapes. I don't know if you know this.
No.
There's like the shitty like see-through kind.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're like not
almost like medical tape.
No, you're talking clear. I'm talking like actual white tape.
Oh, okay.
Like there's that shitty quality, right? But when one of the boys pulls out a thing of tape and it's got that blue inside, that's that Renfrew shit.
Nice.
And that's when you know like you're tucking a few back that game because you got the good quality tape.
Your coach was a beauty.
If we were in the same change room, you and I, you'd be supplying the clear.
I'm a clear tape kind of guy, is what you're
saying?
saying?
Yeah. If you came off the ice, I'd be like, Matty P, clear now. And he'd come over and tape up my shoulders.
So
my
the
shin
clear
pads.
tape was used for like injuries and shit.
No,
and-
it clears for shin pads.
What do you say to a guy if he goes just no tape on his stick? There's a couple of guys in the NHL. There's one guy, I don't know his name, but I saw it
Bertuzzi.
on. Yeah, Bertuzzi, right?
Yeah, he's from Sudbury.
Insane. No tape?
It's a psycho move.
It is a psycho move. You want the puck to be slipping around your fucking
You
blade?
know for a fact that guy's not wearing a condom.
For sure.
He's not
Or a
wearing. He's
cup.
not putting hockey tape on it. He's busting straight up cream pies in his old lady. He's not doing condoms. He's wearing no protection at all.
Tyler Bertuzzi is a raw dog kind of guy.
100%.
Raw dog in the sheets and just a dog on the ice.
Fuck yeah.
That's actually an insane move, though. That's worse than not wearing a condom. That's like fucking...
Well, I get
If it's your
it.
job,
If you can
imagine-
feel the puck, better.
Yeah,
then-
I guess it's all about feel. Because like in golf, it's the same thing. It's all about like... you don't have to have the newest stick or whatever. Isn't there a guy that still plays like a composite stick? Oh yeah, his name. He was just on the Leafs. Fucking
Jason Spezza.
Spezza. Yeah.
He's retired now, but
yeah, he played a composite stick until he retired, just because he grew up and played his entire career with like wooden sticks, and he was just the new ones were just so light with all the technology, it just kind of threw him off.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
100%. It's all about feel.
But I was saying, like, dude, that was an insane... Because I'm a city boy. I was born and raised in the fucking...
Oakville?
In Toronto.
Right,
Like,
in Toronto?
In Toronto, yeah. I was born Jane and Finch. There's a hospital really close to Jane and Finch.
Where do you, like, actually grow up, like, in elementary school?
Like, North York. So, like, literally, it's still on the border of Toronto, like, right on Steeles.
So were you one of these fucking kids taking subways and shit?
Yeah.
To school?
Well,
I don't know. You kind of put off rich kid vibes, though. Were you getting dropped off?
No.
Was somebody dropping you off at school?
I took the school bus with all the other kids.
All right. The
Also,
school bus was a fucking Cadillac with some guy in the front driving it. That's not a school bus.
Did you see the fucking David Beckham, Victoria Beckham documentary came out recently?
No,
but there was
I
this one scene. I did watch it actually. Like, it's pretty sick. I like David Beckham. Not a big soccer guy, but they were talking to Victoria Beckham, and she was like, I grew up like really middle class. David Beckham probably hears this from the back, fucking opens the door.
Oh, I've seen this clip.
Yeah. He's like, my ass. Tell them what your dad drove you to school in. She's like, well, and she's like, just tell them. She starts making excuses. She's like, a Bentley. And then he just smiles and closes the door like, you fucking bitch.
Did David Beckham grow up poor?
Yeah, completely. Like, his dad actually like worked in the fucking factories. His mom worked like as a nurse or something. And his dad was just
So that wouldn't be considered poor, but
not poor, but like definitely not rich, just middle class.
Yeah,
like they had a
class.
house. Like, he got like the new like, football kit every year. His dad bought him for his favorite team, but his dad was a huge fan of the fucking I don't know soccer at all. What team did
either.
Beckham play for? No, I'm not even gonna try. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say
near
this
the end of
and
his
fucking-
career, I do know this. He played for the LA Galaxy.
Yes, yeah.
Not a big soccer guy, but I do know that.
There's a huge part of the documentary is about that. So he played for whatever team he played for most of his career. It's red. I have to say, I don't know if it's Arsenal or not. Anyways, he played for that team, and then he went to Real Madrid, which was a huge move towards the end of his career when he was just a big name. And then after his contract was kind of dwindling with Real Madrid, he signed with LA Galaxy. It was the first like big European soccer player to go into the MLS.
Yeah.
And like, it was funny because back then the MLS was like, it was literally just like janitors and like guys that do this part-time. They were all getting paid. There was no league minimum, so they were literally getting
Janitors?
paid. Janitors, literal like janitors playing for like that played soccer in high school or whatever in college that are playing for the MLS, because like they just had like literally they'd be paid $5,000 a season.
Oh yeah, that's like lacrosse though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider them janitors that are playing lacrosse. I would consider it semi-professional,
Semi-pros. Yeah.
semi-pros that need another job to keep it going.
Yeah.
Kind of like any
So-
comedian that you've ever met.
Yes, guys that would like play for LA Galaxy at the time. He signed like a $220 million contract, and they'd be like calculating how much money he made, like when he'd take a piss in the locker room. You know what I mean? Shit like that. But then he was a dick, and he like played in Europe again. But now he owns an MLS team. I think the Miami team. He signed fucking
Huge old deal.
Yeah. Messi.
Who's that motherfucker that just went to? I think he went to Galaxy as well. He's like the cockiest guy in the world.
Messi?
Zaltorov or something.
Oh, I don't know, dude. I know nothing about soccer.
You got to know this guy. He's got the man bun just like you, little brown mustache, and he goes, "I'm the best in the world."
Isn't it like
what do you want me to do, Conan?
Zlatan or something?
Zlatan, yeah.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
I barely know anything about him, but every time I see him, I've literally just watched his YouTube videos of him being like the cockiest guy in the world, and it is hilarious.
Yeah.
When he got signed to LA, like nobody knows about the soccer team in LA at the time. He just like rented out a full page article in the LA newspaper. Like normally when big people get signed to places like LA, they'll rent or they'll buy a thing in the newspaper that'll say like, I'm so thankful to be here or whatever, like thanking the city. And he just rented one out and said, "You're welcome."
Oh my God.
Legend.
Yeah, the guy, he does look like he needs a fucking... He's Swedish. Yeah, soccer. But anyways, I was talking about like small town vibes. Like just going up there was a fucking...
Different for you, eh?
Yeah. Like I grew up in Ontario, so I've been to small enough towns, but like just every time I go up, it's a different life. And you were like saying at one point in the car, you're like, I can't believe, now that you live in the city, you're like, I can't believe I fucking grew up in a place like this.
Well, yeah, you just see it like as a... Like, because when you grow up in it, you just think like that's the end all be all, right?
Yeah.
And then once you actually like grow enough balls to get out.
Yeah.
And like literally, if you go back, like I'm 27 now. If you go back to when I'm like 19, 20 years old, I was like I was not leaving. I loved that vibe. You know what I mean? Like I could never imagine being in a city or anything, but like that ends up being. There's so many guys up north. I don't even know where I want to go with this really, but that I know they want out.
Yeah.
But they actually think that they have no out.
Well, it's also, I feel like it's a comfort level, right? Like once you get a job that like pays the bills and you're surviving, you're getting by, it's hard to, some people don't even know what they want, man. Like they know it's not this, but like, what do I do? Right? Where do I go? Yeah. What else is there? So it's tough. Like, but you were saying your small town, there was like a Facebook group where like everybody would be in the town.
Elliott Lake Buzz, it's called. And there's
like
I think our population is at 10,000.
Yeah.
And Elliott Lake, it's called Elliott Lake Buzz, has 13,000 members in it, which means that there's like people from other small towns like looking in on our drama, dude. Like in this Elliott Lake Buzz, like somebody will post about like the lady that works at like the Tim Hortons. Yeah. Like fucking Karen at Tim Hortons took fucking forever this morning. Classic. And like
somebody would
Karen's reputation just goes to shit on in the whole town. Everyone knows Karen. They pull up to Tim Hortons and see Karen making the coffee. She's like, fuck's sake.
So people were getting canceled in Elliott Lake before the whole thing happened.
People have been canceled. There's a guy that does the gym up in Elliott Lake.
Yeah.
He had a couple of accusations.
Fuck.
In my opinion, you're not guilty until you're proven
innocent until proven guilty.
Innocent until proven guilty, right?
Yeah, possession is 9
and just ruined them. Like this Elliott Lake Buzz, you put a post in there, and the people that are running it, like the admins, are like bottom feeder skids. Yeah, that are living in this city that are ruling the whole. It's kind of like the world.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you have that. Yeah, I mean, see, that's funny how that even like. The Facebook group had more members than your actual town had.
Well, it's because people leave, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So it's not actually like there is definitely people from other small towns peeking in, but it's more just like people obviously follow and then. Like even me, I live in Toronto now, but I'm talking about the Buzz, dude. The Buzz has got some pull behind it.
That's crazy. You were telling me that. You weren't sure where you're going with your last thing. Like you were there, you thought it was the end all be all. I remember we had a conversation like last month or something where you showed me like a picture of your ID where you just look like fucking a bag of shit. You were like, I fucking bags under your eyes. You look like you haven't
that's
slept
from working
in 3
shift
days.
Work.
Yeah.
Shift work, if you don't know what shift work is.
I've never done it, but I've heard. Yeah,
and like the shift work that I was working was like insane. Like I was working 4 days on, 4 days off.
Yeah.
But the 4 days that I was working were 2 days, 2 day shifts, 2 night shifts. So I was going through like the shitty part about shift work is you're constantly moving from like days to nights, and that's what fucks with your body so much because you're like constantly changing it. But at least like people that like my brother works like 2 in, 2 out, so 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out. So he gets like 2 weeks of like days, and then 2 weeks of nights on the next shift. So his body can get used to it for like 2 weeks straight, right, of nights. Whereas I was going 2 days, 2 night shifts.
Yeah.
So I was constantly moving back and forth, and it just like completely deteriorates you as a human being.
Yeah, your circadian rhythm. Take your fucking notepad out. Put that in there.
Holy shit. Everyone's pussies just got dry.
We were like, so we just went on this little road trip, and like at 5 points during the trip, I'd be driving and start like explaining something about like, oh yeah, like we were talking about lactose intolerance, and I started explaining about like why that happens and how you can take an enzyme lactase, and Ben was just zoned out.
Yeah, no.
Like, you're not taking notes, buddy? There's going to be a quiz later.
Lactate comes into the...
Lactase. Okay,
my lactase,
that's it.
my brain shuts off.
There we go. See, I told you you'd get quizzed. You failed. But yeah, no. So on the way there, we stopped at a coffee time. Just the first gas station we saw, there was a coffee time. Fucking just an assortment of...
That's what it's called? A coffee time?
Yeah, it was a coffee time. Yeah.
Pretty sure it was a country style.
Oh, was it country style?
Coffee time.
Well, there's a chain called Coffee Time too. You know that?
Where's that?
In Toronto. They're everywhere. They're
where
pretty
were
popular.
we?
Peterborough, bro. Same thing.
Was it Peterborough?
I think it was in Peterborough.
No, it was farther than that.
It was further than that?
I felt like at home.
Country style, bro. We were in the country, and a few country folk were making us sandwiches. I ordered a breakfast wrap with sausage and bacon, and the lady forgets to make it for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, hey, where's my sandwich? She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. This never happened. She kept apologizing to all of us. She'd like, oh yeah, Kyle had he ordered a sub, and she takes the meat of like, to put on his sub, just bologna or whatever, and just wrings it out onto the bread so that the bread like soaks the meat in. She's like proud of herself too. Like she's doing some Chef Gordon Ramsay type shit.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I thought she grabbed the piece of meat out at the bottom and it was wet, and then she squeegeed it like outside of the meat or the bun.
I thought it was like on the bread.
No, it was because it was classic. If you've ever been to Subway or Mr. Sub, you get that bottom piece of turkey.
Yeah, and it's
wet because there's a lot of juices at the bottom, right? Mm-hmm. So this girl grabs it, goes over to the fucking sink, and squeegees it out to make sure there's not any extra sauce on it.
Oh my god!
And then tells Kyle, "Hey, don't worry, I squeegeed your meat." Kyle was like,
"Wow, thank you.
Can you maybe just open up a new container? Fuck, you just threw me. This thing expired 6 weeks ago."
Yeah. And that was the most amazing thing. They were proud of their achievements. They were like doing shit like that and be like, hey, I got you, fam.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so for me, I ordered a sandwich or a wrap, a breakfast wrap, all right? And they forget to make it, and I just remind them, and they're so apologetic. I go sit down 5 minutes later. She brings me my breakfast wrap. She's like, hey, don't worry. I put some extra meat on there. And I'm like, sick, that's cool, right? It's probably like another sausage or a piece of bacon, something that I actually ordered. I take a bite, it's ham.
She just threw another random piece of ham on there?
A random assorted meat.
Anchovies I threw on there. It's fucking insane.
How crazy is it to assume somebody wants ham? What if I'm like halal or something?
You don't like ham?
No, I love ham.
You can tell that's how you can tell that they're in the country.
Yeah.
Because before, I have never in my life, before moving to Toronto, had that thing in my head about, ham, super big no-no for Muslims and shit.
Yeah. I love ham, but like I said, like why not, like, why ham? There are like safer meat choices to go for. Or a meat that I already ordered, logically. But anyways, they were built different.
That is so funny. I didn't know that she just tossed another slice of ham on your shit.
Yeah, she tossed a slice of ham without even batting an eye, and she was proud of it too. She gave me a little wink. She's like, "Hey, I put some extra meat on there for you." She fucking hands me the.
She's got no teeth in her mouth. Hey, I got a little bit extra ham. I think it was ham. I don't know. Try to fucking. She's got a needle sticking out of her hand. Fuck.
Spits on it to make it a little extra juicy. Oh god, she definitely didn't wring out my ham either. That shit was wet.
Mr. Sub is fucking awful. Can we talk about Mr. Sub for a second?
Sure.
Why are you cutting your fucking your bread in half?
That's true. Why are you cutting it in half?
It's like, hey, I'm gonna cut it through halfway so you can fucking have an absolute terrible time trying to eat this. It's going everywhere. It's falling all over you. Mr. Sub. It should be called Mr. fucking.
Do you mean like why do they cut it fully? That's great. Do you mean like why do they cut it in half? Like as opposed to Subway, they leave the bread like attached, so it's kind of like, you know, like this.
Yeah, so that there's a back wall to hold everything in.
Yeah.
Like you can deal with one side falling out. Like as humans, we can deal with that.
That's true.
But then once you open up the second side of the sub, our brains aren't made for that. Mm-hmm. So we start going like crazy kind of.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like there's no structural integrity to the sandwich. So Mr.
Well, you walk in a fucking Mr. Sub, and there's no integrity in that place to begin with.
That's true.
Or any self-respect. I hate Mr. Sub.
Very strongly? How strongly do you hate Mr.
Dude,
Sub?
I was giving it, when we pulled up to it, I was like, oh, fuck with Mr. Sub. Like, I haven't had it since the last time I had it, which was in college, and it was an awful experience. I'll never go back. But then enough time had buffered, I was like, okay, I'll try it out. Awful.
Yeah,
awful.
So and
they
also,
don't know what's going on. 2 girls were taking my order at Subway. You walk in,
women.
Well, I'm not mad at that.
Wow,
the way it should be.
At Subway, it's men only.
No, well, no. At least they're going back to their roots. You know what I mean? But
they know who makes the sandwiches,
Subway,
right?
They have some kind of operation going. Like a Subway, you got the meat guy at the front, and then he slides it over to the guy that's already standing there waiting, and he's immediately like, lettuce, and I'm like, yeah, lettuce.
Yeah.
Here it was like.
Nobody knew what their job was.
I would say this: the main girl that was serving me didn't have an answer, and then the other girl would pop in. It's like, do you want cheese? And I'm like, yeah, cheese. And like the one girl would say toasted, and then I'd be like, yeah, sure. And then the other would be like, okay. And I'd be like, who am I talking to right now?
That's true. At any respectable establishment, they have a guy who toasts the bread. One guy wrings the meat out. Another guy takes the order. It's all figured out. And there was a little. Yeah. I don't think we should blame Mr.
I'm blaming Mr. Sub.
It might have been one bad apple. That location was, a little questionable.
I'm telling you, this is my second time at Mr. Sub.
Yeah. Also, they had a mural. Like, you know how like every restaurant has like murals with like farms or whatever to like make it look nice. They had a mural of like an old timey like setting with a bunch of people in an old town and just a dude with no fucking shoes, just bare feet, and no sandwiches in sight. Mm-hmm. I think they just felt it necessary to show somebody with, all right, buddy's coming up. Welcome to the podcast, Whiskey. It's my cat, smelling Ben's beers. You said you don't like cats? Or no, you said you used to not like them, but now you don't mind them.
I don't mind them now. I lived with one for a bit.
Yeah.
His name was Baker. Shout out Baker.
Sick. He's going to be listening to this.
Yeah, he's probably tuning in. He's a huge fan of mine.
Is the cat still alive?
But I don't know if he's alive or not. I moved out a couple of years ago.
You should check in on him.
You know what? Should I call his owner and see if he's still alive?
Sure. Right now, live on the pod.
Let me call his owner. Just
who's his
brought
owner?
It up. You know, my old roommate. I haven't talked to him in a while, and we're not really buddies. So let's just see how this goes.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Calling in to the podcast. First call in Puzhitsky pod history. Ben's old roommate that he hasn't talked to in years.
Just to see if the cat's alive. And if it isn't, I'm deleting his contact number.
I should get some elevator music just to for situations
something
like
in the back.
Something to fill the.
Told you we weren't really that close, me and this guy. So.
Yeah, that's a wild move. Somebody you haven't talked to in 2 years, just cold call him.
Yeah, it's the type of guy I am.
After leaving a message,
Should I leave him a message?
Yeah. Just, hey man, I hope the cat's okay.
Hey, Pritch, it's Ben calling. I'm on a podcast right now. We can't move forward in the podcast without we're wondering if Baker's still alive. So just hit me back whenever you can on JPEG, and just let me know. All right, appreciate it. Thank you, buddy.
Love you. That's wild. Haven't seen your friend in 2 years. Just, hey man, first of all, I'm on a podcast right now, and we really need to know if your cat's alive. I don't care about anything else. Your family.
Is that pussy still meowing? You heard me?
Yo, is that pussy still meowing? You heard?
Yeah, I heard.
Jesus. All right. So we talked about so you play hockey, but you don't watch hockey? Because whenever I try to talk to you about hockey, you're kind of like, eh.
No, and I've never really been one to watch it, even when I played it. Like, I'd watch it with the boys.
Yeah. That's the most fun. I feel like with any sport, bro, like there's so many regular season games that unless you're like a degenerate gambler, which I'm definitely not, you have to... Like, there's no point in watching the regular season. There's 82 games.
Doesn't make sense. There's not enough on the line for me to give a shit. That's why I care about UFC, because it's like
because there's
everything's on the line. There's something on the line. Like I love watching playoff hockey. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. Same thing with baseball.
Even like anything playoff. If there's something on the line, then I can get invested. But if it's just some random bullshit, there's not enough for me to get on it. And I honestly think that guys that are like so hardcore fans for like hockey, football, shit like that, that's gay. Like you're gay.
Dude, the gayest thing I can imagine is buying a jersey with another man's fucking name on your back. I would never if I bought a jersey.
Well, you know what's even gayer? Buying a jersey and getting it customized with your own name on the back.
I was gonna say, like, first of all, these jerseys are way too expensive for a fucking shirt. Mm-hmm. If I were to do it, I would buy a custom jersey. Why is that gay?
That's gay.
So just no name, just a regular jersey.
Or no, I'd go with a name. Like I think it's cool to buy like say like a Matthews jersey or something.
No. The idea of having another man like you're his bitch in the stands going like, let's go,
babe. I'm not going to this. But I'm saying the jersey itself.
You're cucking yourself.
No, but it's not about that. It's about that aspect. It's kind of almost respecting what he's done.
As a fan,
the guys that I can't handle are the ones that are like buying jerseys and then like sucking, like they're just I love Matthews, like Matthews, shut up. But if you can buy a jersey, I'm not going to buy a customized Albert jersey if I haven't made it to the NHL. I think that is the gayest thing you can do. I think that's more coming from someone who played hockey though.
That's
you know what I mean, where I'm like,
I'd buy a Matthews
every time I
put
that jersey on, I'd feel like I didn't do good enough.
I'd buy a Toronto Maple Leafs Matthews jersey just because like it's close enough to my actual name that it's like, all right, it's not that bad. But Matthew, you know, minus the S, I can scribble that shit out. But you know what? Actually, I would buy like a Sundin jersey, like an old school Matt Sundin. Remember him?
Yeah, I know Diener.
Yeah, him and I go way back, bro. When I was little, I thought his name was Matt as well. I was such a big fan, and then my dad told me, you know, his name isn't Matt, and it broke my heart. It's close enough, but I actually have a theory. I don't know what the NHL is doing, the worst league in fucking existence. But I have a theory that the Leafs and like every Canadian team, Calgary, Edmonton, they can't figure their shit out because the NHL doesn't want a Canadian team to win. And it's not even that far-fetched of a conspiracy. I think that in the US, right, they have football, they have basketball. Those leagues are already making so much more money than NHL. That's where they need to focus their efforts. They need to take some of that attention away in the US. So that's why they have a bunch of very successful American NHL teams. Whereas in Canada, bro, we're all about hockey. No matter how bad the Leafs are playing, Scotiabank Arena is packed. Mm-hmm. Be it like people that buy... Dude, I was actually looking recently, pre-season. So we're not even talking regular season or playoffs. Pre-season games to like the first pre-season Maple Leafs home opener, fucking... You can buy... There were tickets that were going for like $400 to a preseason game.
It's insane.
What?
People always go to Buffalo.
And trust me, they were sold. People bought those tickets. Somebody in Toronto said, "Yeah, that's a fucking good idea. I'm going to spend $4,000 or $400 on this preseason game that means nothing."
Well, like we just went over, none of the games mean nothing. They're all gay.
This guy's just cool right now. You're like, are you an Andrew Tate guy?
Yeah. I'm just. Well, what are we talking about here? We're talking about Leafs. Let's talk about something more intense. When did you lose your virginity?
When did I lose? Okay, we.
Is this going to be okay with your girlfriend in the background talking?
I know.
Oh, you know? Okay, perfect. Let's get into it.
22 years. No. I lost my virginity at the age of first year of university.
Holy shit! How old were you?
What age is that? That's like
19.
No, it's not 19. It's like...
No. Come on. It's 18
it's
and 3 quarters.
Bro. Yeah, isn't that like 17, 18? I think it was 17. Yeah.
18 probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you have a late... When's your birthday?
June 15th.
Yeah, I was 18.
Yeah, 99. Well, I'm a fucking loser, bro.
You could... You were scratching scratch-offs before you scratched the pussy?
Dude, I was such a... Well, that's the thing. I was like a very late bloomer. I remember... You probably don't remember. You were in fucking Elliott Lake. In Toronto, back in the day, you can take the TTC for free if you're like under the age of 15 or something, or 16. Okay. I was doing that until like third year of university.
How are you getting through? You just have to tell them?
Well, they just have to, the guy looks at you and it has to be believable that you're under a certain age. You just have to look young as fuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was doing that.
That's not the case anymore?
No. Now it's like $2 or something. They get a discount. But like I was taking paying the junior fee for the TTC, which used to be free. I don't remember when they stopped that, but like I was just walking onto the bus until I was in like third year. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, man.
Oh, that's insane.
Late bloomer.
And this gal, is this a girl that you met at school?
This was
girlfriend or just a one-nighter?
No, just a one-nighter in university. Yeah.
You lost your virginity to a one-nighter?
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
Why is that wild?
No, just because, like, I don't know, but for me, everybody was losing their virginities. Like, my buddy, my first guy in my group to lose his virginity, we were in I was in grade 10, he was in grade 9, he's one of my best buddies. He was, in grade 9, lost his virginity to a grade 13. She was 19, and he was, like, 14, and she wanted to keep... That's a MILF right there. She wanted to keep fucking him.
Yeah.
But in grade 9 was like, sorry, I can't keep this going. Like,
why?
How big of a cock and balls do you have to be in that situation? Insane.
Yeah.
But like for me though, like losing your virginity was always like a
big thing.
No, not a big thing, but like it obviously is a big thing, but more of like it needs to be worked up into something. It wasn't like obviously you're at the point at that age, obviously you should be having one night stands, but like everyone around and like where I'm from, everyone was losing their virginities from like grade 9 until like grade 11. Okay. Was like the normal sphere. Yeah. And I was late. Like I was getting called square till like I had lost mine. Mm-hmm. And quick little story about losing your virginity too. I had this girlfriend that I was dating. Okay. And
that's usually what you do with a girlfriend.
Well, usually you fuck them. You wouldn't know anything about it. But then so I'm in like grade 10 and I'm this girl finally lets me fuck her, all right?
Okay. Finally.
And I'm fucking her. I fucked her. I'm like, boys. But like the whole time when I fucked her, I'm like, this is not what it's all built up to be. I'm like, this doesn't even feel good. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm like kind of almost dry
the whole time.
Dry humping. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like this doesn't feel like sex. But I'm telling my boys like, yeah, I lost my virginity. So I'm selling with the boys, you know, we're in grade 10, 11. I'm like, yeah, it's sick. I lost my virginity.
Yeah.
Then like a week into having sex with this girl, my dick makes it past her labia and actually goes inside of her.
Oh.
I was fucking this girl's labia for like a week.
Jesus Christ. How
just
small
dry
is your
humping.
Dick?
Tiny, I guess. But yeah.
I thought this story was going like this whole time, or like I was just like fucking her in the thighs, you know? Like
it was like pretty well that honestly, like she had a little bit of some labia, right? So I was fucking and I was like, what the hell is this? And then because it was too dry.
Yeah.
It was too dry. For all you young fellas listening out there, you're going to want to get
yogurt.
You're going to need some liquid, all right? But I legit genuinely didn't realize, and then my dick slipped into this girl like a week after, and I was like, what the fuck?
That what a come up story that is, because I have it on good authority that since then you have been pounding some puss. You've put up some numbers on the board.
Yeah, I've put up some numbers since then.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm not gonna, you know, I don't know if you're comfortable saying the number or not, but it's up there.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you. I don't know if I'm proud of you. That's actually disgusting.
When I was like 19, 20 years old, I was like, oh, this is cool. But as an adult, I think. But the thing is, Matt, when I was in grade 9, a guy at McDonald's, like a schizophrenic guy, looked at me and said, fuck everything. Because when you're this old, you're going to regret it.
Yeah.
That's literally... Because I didn't have a dad. I didn't have a father figure growing up, right?
You just latched on to whatever.
So like an old guy talking to me, I was like, yes, sir. Okay, for sure. Sounds good. I'll do that. Yeah, absolutely. Can you make me dinner tonight? But he was like, you got to fuck everything because when you're 70 years old, you're going to regret it.
You're going to regret it.
So I just took that personally.
Yeah.
And I fucked everything in sight for like 10 years.
You're like Michael Jordan. I took that personally. And I fucking put up some numbers,
I just went crazy mode on that bitch.
That's insane. You went sicko mode. That's, you know what, good for you. I see, we're different kinds of people, and we're still friends, guys. See, like, put a stop to all this war bullshit. We're both white and we look the same, but like,
put a war to put an end to the war over in fucking Palestine and Israel because two white guys in Toronto can get together and agree on a few things. Yeah, you guys should end the war now. Jesus Christ.
I didn't say a specific war. I said all war in general, which I think also is a point that we can agree on. War is bad. I'm watching this show, Band of Brothers. Have you seen it? Oh, yeah, we talked about this in the car ride. Band of Brothers.
I don't remember.
It's the HBO show. It's about World War II, big World War II guy. Yeah, it's a really cool show. I just saw an episode today about how they were like liberating all the concentration camps, and put a tear to my eye, honestly. Yeah. And just random cameos in this show. Fucking star-studded. Jimmy Fallon out of nowhere in one of the episodes. Like, really? Delivered ammo. Yeah, I think it's...
Delivered ammo?
Yeah. Dude, so I just watched the video online. It's like you know how there's like videos, channels on YouTube dedicated to like reviewing like podcasts and comedy specials? They like go through all the drama. One of these videos did a thing about like Kevin Hart and how apparently the thing in the industry is that like... especially with black comedians, the way that you like get past a certain level is you have to wear a dress. So like every like comedian that has succeeded in Hollywood has worn a dress, and then his career has exploded. And like Dave Chappelle was talking about it. It's like a conspiracy theory. They offered him to do it once and he said no. Like he turned down the $50 million offer and fucking didn't wear a dress and shit. And it's because like once
$50 million.
$50 million. Yeah, he had an offer for his sketch show, right? And he said that it wasn't like it's actually fucked up, this like game that we're playing. We want to be like any comedian here, right? Like it's fucking, you want to do the movies, you want to have the big specials, you want to sell out arenas, right? But like if you think about what comes with that, like Kevin Hart, for example, he can't really say what's on his mind because he's like a business now. He's a brand. If he fucks up, he has like a whole bunch of people that are going down with him. Mm-hmm. Whereas like Dave Chappelle, who kind of stayed outside somehow that kind of like Hollywood fucking Illuminati umbrella, he can do whatever he wants. It's just him, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's there was Patrice O'Neal was talking about it on a podcast, R.I.P. King, that like everybody shits on all these guys that like succeed, but like given the chance, snap their fingers, like they would do it too. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Would you wear a dress for $50 million? I'd fucking wear a dress and do something else.
Brother, I'd take the dress off for $50 million. You feel me?
For anybody. Harvey Weinstein, whoever.
No, dude, I was talking about the whole Harvey Weinstein thing with somebody the other week.
Yeah.
What did he do that was so fucked up?
He fucked girls or like, I don't know. I don't know if it was consensual or not, but like he basically, yeah.
As long as it's consensual.
Yeah.
But I heard that it was just consensual.
I don't want to.
Yeah, he's using his power.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about it, I do.
All right.
But he's using his power.
I don't condone the messages of my, anyways.
Yeah, whatever. Tell all your fucking NPC followers that I'm talking about it. But
this guy's real. He's keeping it real here.
I'm just keeping it real for you fans. No, but from what I gather, he was basically just hooking up with girls and telling them, hey, listen, if you suck my fucking cock.
Yeah, you'll get a role.
Oh, you'll get a role. Mm-hmm. Which is... beta and kind of gay, but is that illegal?
I mean, he's in jail, so I guess so. Yeah.
So then what? Yeah, exactly. I mean, so then whoever I was talking to was feeding me bullshit. What is? And by the way, I'm talking from I don't follow on any of the news.
I was gonna say there was more to it. He probably he did some fucked up shit.
Must have been some rape involved.
He's in jail now. There's no way that if it was completely consensual, he would not be in fucking prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah, true that.
So yeah. I wouldn't go down that conspiracy theory. Maybe talk about the dresses
I'll leave it on that then. Because if he's in jail, there's a reason why.
Yeah. So, UFC, Ngannou just fought Tyson Fury. Did you watch the fight, by the way?
No, just seen the highlights.
Yeah. I watched the fight before I went to a Halloween party. I was fucking losing it. He got robbed, Ngannou won. But it's unreal because, boxing is rigged. Everybody knows that. MMA is... finally got one, and We couldn't even beat Jake Paul for the longest time. Fucking all of our fucking Tyrone Woodley got knocked out by Jake Paul. How embarrassing is that? Now finally heavyweight champion Ngannou beats him. I was very excited for the MMA fellas. We got one. We can hold our heads high finally.
Love MMA.
Yeah, but the fight was unreal. Also, did you hear the Joe Rogan podcast with Ngannou? What he had to go through just to come to fucking this side of the ocean?
Oh, yeah, like all the...
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a hard life.
Yeah, it's insane. It's a movie. Yeah. So he had to, like... He had a hard life, man. That's
we did. I don't remember the specifics of it. He had to travel across some fucking desert.
Yeah. So he had to
stopped like 7 times or something.
Yeah,
bullshit.
Exactly. He had to like escape his Africa multiple times because there's like a coast guard that's like watching for people escaping on boats. He got caught like 3-4 times. On his 5th time, he got out, went to France, was homeless in France, only started training at the age of 25. Then all the shit that went down in the UFC with the contract negotiations, and now he fought Fury and fucking won. I was going through that in my head a little bit, and I think it's pretty impressive, bro.
It is an absolutely impressive feat.
It was an impressive feat. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy now that I hope all this, like, bullshit. Have you ever watched a single one of those, like, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI fights?
Yeah, I watch every single one of them, and I get invested. You don't watch them?
That's gay. No.
I don't know. Jake Paul's got me by the nuts. Honestly, at the beginning, when he was fighting, like, who was the first guy that he fought? Jake Paul?
I don't know.
He fought...
he fought, like, the other Fury kid.
Like, Tyrone Woodley. Even at like,
that
at the beginning, I was like, fuck Jake Paul. What a loser.
Yeah.
Dude, last week I bought a sweater. That's...
Yeah, but what sweater?
I don't even know. I was just like, get me something with
the Maverick.
Get me with something on Jake Paul on it, dude.
Oh my God.
Maverick is Logan Paul.
Okay. See, I don't know. I watch like actual fights. Maybe I'm being a little salty, but it's good. No, the good thing that because of all of this, from all of this bullshit that they've done, like I think fighters are getting more recognition and fighter pay. People are actually finally pushing back against it because it's insane. Like the Ngannou, like I don't know if it's the next card or this last card. There were two title fights in the UFC, and none of the fighters were getting pay-per-view points. So that's all going into Daddy Dana's pocket, right? Whereas in boxing, at least, like these Ngannou and Tyson, they both got pay-per-view points, right? So depending on how well the fight sells, they get a percentage of that, and their contracts are way more. Like they're each getting paid fucking like $20 million in boxing. It's insane. Yeah. But boxing is more. MMA is more real in how it's set up. Like, we were just talking about...
It's more of a league.
Yeah. We were talking about Kamaru Usman, how he was the boogeyman. He wanted to... Like, nobody could touch him. And now, 3 tough losses later, everybody's, like, you know, calling him a scrub. As if he never, like, fucking...
Well, he's also at the end of his time, though.
Yeah. He's getting old. His knees are like, fucked up. But still, like... even though people are giving him shit, he's still like in talks. Like there's some good matchups you can have, and you can still have a career, right? Whereas in boxing, one loss is a pretty big like setback, right?
Well, yeah, they also got to change that though.
Yeah, no, they do because it's fighting, bro. Like the margins are razor thin. Like I think that's why Tyson Fury got the win because like the judges, I don't know who paid them off, but like. They also, before the Ngannou fight, they announced the fight with Usyk, his next fight. Mm-hmm. And obviously that wouldn't happen if he lost to Ngannou. So there's a lot of people that had a lot of interest in Tyson Fury winning because if he didn't, they would have lost a lot of money. Yeah. So there's obviously...
Are you opening up a conspiracy theory here?
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's like, it was like a plain sight robbery. Ngannou won the fight. It was a big Jack Black dude beating up this fucking fat white dude for at least 7 out of the 10 rounds. That's like a no-brainer. And he got a knockdown in what, like round 4.
And Tyson got no knockdowns?
No knockdowns.
See, the thing is, though, and I hate when people come into, like, casuals. I'll be watching a fight with, like, the casuals. Mm-hmm. And they think that like a knockdown should win you the fight.
Yeah, to be fair, in terms of boxing, I'm pretty casual. I'm more of a...
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
But, like, just because you could literally nearly murder a guy in round 1.
Yeah.
But if he wins round 2 and 3, then you lose.
Yeah. Right?
So like I hate the knockdown, yeah, cool, whatever. So that just the knockdown, all it does is like pretty well guarantee
like a 10-8. If it's one sided.
But it guarantees you one round is what I'm trying to get at. Like outside of that round, who gives a shit about the knockdown?
Yeah. No, but in that case, like the knockdown Ngannou was already dominating the round plus a knockdown, so that was like a pretty clear 10-8. Which in like that's a 10-8. That's like a 2-point advantage. That's big. That'll win or lose a fight. Especially and like the judge that it ended up coming down to had the fight scored like 95-94 Fury. So that's like fucking this guy's just going.
I'm the Shane Gillis of Toronto comedy. You feel me?
He is the Shane Gillis of the Toronto comedy.
Is this some camera scene?
We got 4 going right now. What was
they're not paying me anymore. Put that shit down.
Really? They're not paying you?
I mean, they paid me for the skits that I made for them, and that's it. End of contract. I'm not doing free advertising here, bud. I like your shirt. What's the texture of the shirt there?
Fucking H&M.
H&M? Nice. It's like textured. You can, it's rippled.
It's rippled, yeah. You could really feel it. As a deaf guy.
Yeah.
Or not a deaf guy, a blind guy.
Yeah, you can like read.
Yeah.
You have like a...
The blind guys come up and they're like, is that Ben? I'm like, you know it.
You know it, yeah, that's... Who we were talking about it recently. I don't know if it was with you. Were we talking about how like... what do you call it? The nipples that like you can read. Blind people can read. What is it called?
Braille.
Braille. Yeah, that's like it's kind of weird because like you have to see, like it's in such like weird locations. You have to know where it is. I guess maybe if you're blind, you know where the Braille usually is. But you
wasn't this just on a podcast?
I heard somebody. I think we just talked about it. Did we not?
No, we heard. I heard that on a podcast. Whose podcast was I listened to that I heard that on? Or it's like a clip maybe about just how like they're just in weird spots.
Yeah.
Where did I hear that?
I swear to God, I was talking. I think I talked about this with a comic who must have heard it from the podcast. Anyways, let's not fucking rip off a podcast then. But like the point is, like if you're blind, you have to see where the Braille is, and then like how do you know where that is? Oh, and you know how like at crosswalks, this is just another fun fact. And full
the
of
little
those.
Button?
No, not the little button. There's like before you get onto the road, there's like a little like gridded like metal square. Yeah. You know what that's for? For them, I would assume. Yeah. People thought like I think a bunch of people think it's for grip or whatever. It's for them like when they're walking with the walking sticks, they feel where the end of the road is. Huh. And so how does all this shit work out? Like in terms of how do all the blind people know? Do they send out a notice to all white people or blind people send out a notice to white people? So like is there like a blind group page or something? Because how like as a blind guy if you didn't get told, you're just like Jesus Christ, the city's got to figure out the last 3 inches here. I'm sure they grow up like I mean, these days, especially in bigger cities, the infrastructure is built like with accessibility in mind, and I think they go to special schools where they teach them kind of. It's just the way. Also, the thing is, didn't you say that you have a buddy that's like blind or something? Was it you or somebody else? No, not me. No, but like that. It's like it was Kyle. He's like, and it's just like we say, oh man, like it must be weird but for them that's all they know. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just like it's just life. Yeah, so true. Yeah. They just feel a little bit something different. They're like, okay, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah, man. What disability do you want to talk about next? I got blind checked off. What do we want to do? Autism? No, autism's just kind of too much talked about. Yeah, that's true. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have autism. It's like undiagnosed. I might. You definitely have autism. Yeah. And I've been thinking lately, maybe I got a little bit of it. Why? You're just a normal guy. You're a guy that just fucks a lot. No, I don't fuck at all. Actually, I fucked for the first time last weekend. And with your shorty. Yeah, with my shorty. With your shorty. And it was great, by the way. How about you talk about a little bit about that? The other podcast. I'll let you know about it. It was the weirdest shit ever. Yeah. You want to hear about it? Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, so this girl, she messaged me on like... I don't know, a week before last Saturday. Okay. And she's like, are you going back home
for Halloween, and I was like, no, you should come here instead. Keep in mind, I don't talk to this girl.
She's from Elliott Lake?
She's from like around there.
Okay. And I was she still lives there?
She lives up north. Right. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to stay here. You should come up here.
So you must have flew her in, right?
Yeah, I flew her in pretty well. Other than her not flying in and her actually just driving her own car, putting kilometers on her own whip. Yeah, I don't know why we shouldn't talk about this, actually. You're already in the story. All right.
That was very easy, by the way. I expected a little more pushback there.
Well, anyways, regardless, she says, yeah, I'm coming up. I'm like, okay, cool. Then she comes up. We're coming back from that road trip.
Yeah.
I show up at my place. She shows up. We have sex. The plan was...
Naturally.
We're supposed to go for dinner.
Yeah.
And then I had some shows. She was going to go to a party, so we're going to split ways at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Which is also weird. Like, if you're also coming up to the city to fuck a guy...
Was she supposed to stay over with you?
Yeah, she did. She did. But she went out to a party.
Okay.
So, and by the way, fellas...
Does she know people in Toronto? I thought she was from out...
Yeah, she knows people, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like the opposite of... If you live down here, you don't know anybody up north. But if you live up north, you know a lot of people that live in Toronto, kind of thing, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but she... Little notice for the boys here, too. If you're going to have a girl over, and the plan is you're going to go for dinner with her, don't have sex before dinner.
True.
Because that's going to ruin your entire time for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you want to have, like, a little bit of motivation. When you're at dinner, you know, to keep the intrigue, you're like, all right, I get a little reward at the end of this thing.
Yeah, if you bust your nut before.
Yeah, no. The post-nut clarity hits. You just want this girl to go home.
You're having zero conversations with this girl. Literally, at one point during the dinner, she goes... You're usually so talkative. What's wrong? It's
because I'm trying to fuck, man.
No, it's because I already nutted and I don't care about you. I don't want you to be here.
What a gentleman, dude.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna use this on your Hinge profile, bro. Clip this out and be like, guys, I fuck.
All right.
Andrew Tate. You get your advice from Andrew Tate. You're a big Andrew Tate guy.
No, not a big Andrew Tate guy. I liked where he was at the time in humanity.
Yeah.
We needed an Andrew Tate just to kind of... Because he was so far on the other side, right? So it was kind of nice to, like, get someone that was so crazy.
Yeah.
But, like, now obviously he's nothing because... But it did help... He did help with the world's push towards a side. Like, it was so crazy. I don't want to say left or right.
Yeah.
But it was way towards the one side.
Yeah.
And then him coming in kind of forced it to come back into the middle a bit, you know?
Yeah.
And you can feel it. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but, like, girls are saying the R word again and shit.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Who was I talking? When, like, I feel like the R word and, like, saying gay and stuff like that, when the hot girls start saying it, that's when you know it's back.
I'm pretty sure it was Kyle, because Kyle messaged me about this as well.
Yeah.
Well, him and I were talking. And that's why I don't mean to plagiarize. I don't mean to plagiarize Kyle's point, but it is so true.
3 people will hear it.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
and it's like
So you're saying this girl from up north said the R word a lot?
Oh, they swung it around. They throw that thing around like it's fucking
like a whip.
Yeah.
It's weird, the dynamic, though, because, like, Andrew Tate, you'd think he's, like, this guy that would, like... Who's, like, the top 1% of dudes, right? Like, jacked, attractive, smart, funny, good job, whatever, can get, like... You say, like, they can get... I don't think they can even get, like, 90, even 80% of girls, because there's still girls out there that are like a 2 would be like, ew, like some ick. That fucking ick bullshit that's on TikTok.
That's what they say.
Bro.
That's what they say.
Bro.
But until it really comes down and boils down to it, they're going to be going with that guy.
I don't know. I feel like she would, if Andrew Tate, there are a lot of girls that would not go for Andrew Tate's an easy example because he's fucking pretty out there. But I'm just saying, this unknown guy doesn't have Instagram, just a successful, like, surgeon that is good looking and has his own place in, like, New York or whatever. Yeah. Like, there are girls that would go out with him and be like, I don't like the way he's breathing. Fucking, like...
No, they're still gonna fuck him, though.
Yeah, but No, I don't know.
100%.
I don't know. I feel like it's weird because I think the top 1% of girls are way more picky, and I can go into a little bit about why this is because of evolution.
Girls?
Yeah. Like naturally.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, well, like if you think about it from I hate when this is like the classic fucking like if you think about it from an evolutionary perspective, but classic Joe Rogan listener line. But if you really do think about it, right, in order to historically, right, when you have sex, what do you do it for? For reproduction. Not everybody's like just a savage like you, just does it for like.
What's up?
No Netflix password.
My name's Ben.
Just gotta fuck, you know? What else am I gonna do? I can't watch YouTube. I don't have data. Just gotta find a broad to bang. No, but so like the woman, what are the repercussions? A guy just nuts and leaves, right? But the woman has to potentially sacrifice her well-being for the duration of 9 months and potentially die back then when health. So they're very much more like it's an investment for them. It's a big investment, right? Whereas for the guy, it's not. It's just you nut and leave.
Yeah.
And if you think about this, actually, in the animal kingdom, you always see the male birds. A clear example, peacocks, right? Bright, beautiful colors, big, like fancy tail. Those are the males. Okay, the women, the female peacocks are very gray, small, nothing fancy, because the men compete for the women, right? The women are the ones that are calling the shots.
Yeah.
Because of that fact, right? They pick and the men get picked, right? So that I'm saying, I think that definitely reflects in humans as well, because I think the top 1% of guys, okay, I don't know what the number is. Maybe they can get like 80%, 90% of the girls, maybe even less. But I think the top 20% of girls can get like 99% of guys, right? Because if you're a dude and you get a girl that's just cool, that's nice to hang out, she doesn't have to be fucking, like, I don't think there's any dude out there that's no matter how successful that needs, like, would you want your girl to be like very successful, you know, professionally?
No, but
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. With guys and girls, it's completely different. Yeah, and which literally, just as you were saying that, kind of made me think about everything about like this. What are we doing here?
Oh no, it's just food. Keep talking.
But the thing is about like growing up in a small town.
Yeah.
That does give you the ability to like look at things from a more normal perspective, like what
do you mean normal?
From the perspective, not normal, but from the perspective that you're just kind of looking at. It just kind of like came into my mind as to why maybe I see things a certain way. Because when you're living in a big town, everyone's ruffling around. You don't really know about everyone's where they stand. But when you're in a small town, it kind of just there's like you could see everybody on like a leaderboard almost. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you kind of see how naturally the world works via that.
Yeah, there's a very clear hierarchy.
Where I've seen girls in high school that there'll be a guy that his dad owns this certain company, so he's loaded, where this hot ass chick will be with this fucking dud of a dude. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's not only small towns, it's the same thing.
No, but it's more of on like it's not even, then you'll see it more on the aspect of like, maybe this guy's that has his dad's a fucking big dog, but he's a loser himself. And you'll see that portray through that relationship. And then that guy will, it all comes, I don't know, I don't want to get into it, but like, it all comes down to being a fucking alpha male.
Everything's about sex,
but exactly. It all comes down to that though. Like girls, regardless, like I've seen girls where they want to, like they'll be with like a fucking, a good looking guy that's successful. Yeah. But they'd rather be with that loser that just puts off, not even but like more for a night. They'd rather be with that fucking loser. Yeah. That is like just an alpha male. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't know. It's also, I think it's the type of girl. It's, you have to.
That's what I'm kind of arguing against though, because a type of girl is like.
I think a reasonable.
They're putting up a front for something. Like eventually, that girl is gonna boil down to. Like if some girl dates some fucking loser that's like a big fucking has a good job.
Yeah.
She's probably in like 10, 15 years going to date the construction guy that puts off.
Because she wants to experience the other thing?
No, because like naturally I think women are like attracted.
So why do you hate on construction? Because it's a perfect.
No, not construction. Dude, I'm a construction guy. Like, what do you mean? But I'm saying like, I don't know where I'm getting. My brain's not big enough to get out to the world here. But no, continue.
Guys, you get it, right? Like I'm not.
You guys get what I'm saying, though, right?
You're picking up what I'm laying down here. No, I get it. It's a weird, it's a weird hierarchy game that we're playing, and it's all like. What are you checking out there?
Just the time.
Oh yeah. We're about an hour in, but to cap off the podcast, let's see if you can finish your thought. What's your big? What is it all? You said everything's about sex. That's what it's all about. It comes down to being an alpha.
It's so hard to explain, though. It's so hard to explain because it's like
let's try to break it down.
Let's try to break it down.
This is where we do it.
Like
we're cooking up in the lab right now. Let's figure it out.
Girls. I don't even know how to do it. I don't even know how to say it. Like girls in their like because of society, I think society maybe like makes a girl think in a certain way.
Yeah.
So then you'll see it all the time as like these girls in their like early 20s, they'll date or marry and have kids with this certain type of guy that they think society has pushed upon them.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But 10, 15 years down the line, when shit gets old with that fucking guy that they thought society has brought to them, they just naturally are not attracted to that person.
I used to think this way and all this like society blah 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 bullshit, but now that I've actually been with like a good human being that I've connected with, I think it's more about just like finding a person that's like not a dick. And like, cause listen, like I men and women, like they have like opportunities to cheat and all of that, and like what keeps you in today's day and age? There's Instagram is the infidelity machine. That's the thing. Like these days, man, imagine like before phones were invented, you'd meet a nice girl in your small town and you wouldn't even like, how many girls in your lifetime would you even see in a small town, for example, if you just lived a nice quiet life there? Not that many.
No.
These days, man, we're exposed, even if you live in fucking buttfuck nowhere, you're seeing the hottest girls in the world every day, 100 times a day, if you're on any one of these social media platforms, right?
Yeah.
It's like back then, right? Say you're a guy married to in a long-term relationship with a kid. You drive your kid to hockey practice. You see the hot mom on the other team, right? It used to be like you might see her once a week or whenever you go to hockey practice. Now there's fucking Facebook. You're in a parents group together. You might send her like a meaningless, just like innocent message like, hey, like my kid's coming. Can you bring like an extra like fucking hockey tape? And then that turns into something else. You see some bikini pictures of her from a few years ago on the family vacation. They start talking. Like all of the way that society is set up right now,
it's a mess.
It's a mess. Your grass is always greener on the other side. So I think like once you do, like it's all of this like looks and this and that. Like if you actually find somebody and you're lucky enough to like the person, you have to keep reminding yourself that like it's rare, especially these days, to find like an insane normal person with some values that you at least share and that you can stand for longer than a couple of hours a day, right? And you fucking forget all of this Instagram bullshit because all that stuff is not real. Whatever, I don't know. Anyways, man, thanks for dropping some knowledge here today. Thanks for coming back on the podcast.
We got a quick 5 pints.
Yeah, quick, bro. We got that on tape too. We can play that back in slow motion.
Yeah.
An athlete at work, everybody. Plug anything you want if you have anything to plug.
No, don't really got anything to plug. But if any producers in Toronto are listening, throw me on your show.
Yeah.
Let's have a little.
Me too. Fuck that.
Two white guys? No. We're competing for the same spot. Take me. All right. He's got a podcast.
Exactly.
He gets a spot on his podcast.
I have a podcast and I have an Instagram that I can shout you. Put me on the show. This guy, did you hear what he just said about Harvey Weinstein? This guy, a little questionable, you know? You want to be a little safer, choose me.
I pulled back on that.
I'm gonna cut everything you say in the podcast. I'm gonna cut it out and it's just gonna be me talking.
I'll take it.
So fuck it. Don't plug anything. Guys, this has been Ben Albert. He's actually a pretty cool guy. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe. See you next time. Peace.